Head Start program. My name is Emily Jones and I am here to give you a little educational update on some healthful habits to be creating as a family. Of course, we all know about eating more fruits and vegetables and playing outside more. But what about this? What about too much time on YouTube, kids? What do you think is the accurate time a child should be able to spend on these things? What do you think your child's getting now? The American Academy of Pediatrics sets clear guidelines and recommendations for families of young children to pursue healthful, lifelong habits. For children that are 18 months or younger, should really not be exposed to screens unless it's for FaceTime. Of course, you want family members to see your child, you want them to talk, you want to give them the goo goo gaga, and the great way to do that is through FaceTime. You're helping them improve their language skills. So that's why the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that for 18 months or less. For children that are 18 to 24 months, while high quality educational programs are ideal, they should also be watched with you to help them become more observant, to help them grow. For children 2 to 5 years old, this is the big number that everyone's waiting for. They actually only recommend an hour or less for children in front of a screen. But like I said, whether that's tablet, computer, TV, video game, all of those things. Another recommendation that the Academy has is to really avoid using screens as a way to calm your child. You want to make sure that you have other methods of soothing them than putting YouTube or games in front of them. We'll talk a little bit more about that. The Academy also recommends a few places in the house that should be screen-free for everyone, including your older children and including you. That means at the kitchen table and in the kitchen, in the bedroom, and also when you spend time together. You want to make sure that these areas of the house and activity don't have phones. This will help improve their sleep, help improve their eating patterns, as well as help them improve their interactions with you and others, improving their brain development thus far. And last but not least, we all know that violent behaviors are very scary to notice your young child watching in a video game or a YouTube channel, so you want to make sure that you're watching it with them. All children need to be supervised. That way you can have conversations about it. If there's something that they're confused about or something they've never seen before, the best way to help them grow and learn and achieve that brain development is by watching it with them. So now we're going to take a few minutes to go over ways to achieve those recommendations and ways to incorporate them into your family. Number one, I want you all to recognize you are great parents. Your children are thriving in the Head Start program, and the best way to achieve long-term success is through gradual and small changes. That being said, I don't expect you to go home or cut the cord to your TV. The best way to achieve long-term changes when it comes to screen time usage in your family is to actually just reduce it gradually, maybe 15 to 30 minutes a week. See how successful that is. Maybe if you're feeling ambitious, you can do 15 to 30 minutes a day. Some ways to easily reduce that screen time is number one, eliminate the hour before bed of having any screen time. And that means inherently no TV in the bedroom. Make sure that that time is set aside for reading with you, by themselves, calming down, making sure that their sleep cycle is appropriate. If there's noise in the background and you feel like that's why that they sleep better, maybe consider using a radio with a CD. Well, it sounds a little outdated. Or if you want to use more technologically advanced, you could plug in an iPod with a playlist to make sure that they fall asleep well and soundly. Another recommendation we have to kind of fill in some of that time that will help reduce screen time is to have them work with you at home. That could mean maybe helping you in the kitchen We have some little guidelines available at the health department even that are My Little Helper. They're there. They want to learn from you. They want to model you. Actually, research shows that children follow maternal modeling, which is the mother's, more than the parental modeling, which is the father's. Except boys really want to be like their dad. So don't be off guard, dads, because you got to make sure that you're leading by example for those kids. But for moms and dads, doesn't matter who's cooking in the kitchen, we want to make sure that we give them the opportunity to learn from us. Maybe they mix the vegetables or the salad. Maybe they peel the potatoes with a kid-friendly peeler. Giving them those opportunities will actually make them more interested in eating those foods as well. And therefore reduce the time that they spend in front of a screen. Where maybe you would have been preparing dinner and they were watching the TV. Now you guys are spending it together. Those positive social interactions. Another way to reduce screen time overall is to replace screen time with playtime. Which sounds crazy. They've been playing at Head Start all day, I know. But some ways that you see your children, maybe they're playing with blocks. Maybe they're playing with other active play toys. A really good way to make sure that they are actively playing and they're using their brain, they're helping their language skills, they're helping their deductive reasoning skills. That TV might be on in the background, so they might be distracted. So the best way to make sure that it's active play, just make sure the TV's off. Another way, if you have a pet or another animal, or you have a backyard, or there's a big playground nearby, those are better alternatives to screen time after school. If you've noticed that that's just the first thing they do when they get home, is they just sit on the couch because they're tired from school. Maybe setting clear guidelines with what they can do with their time right when they get off school. That could narrow the gap, narrow the time that they spend. Another way to reduce screen time is to make sure dinner time is family time. And that sounds pretty common knowledge, but a lot of us don't eat at the tables anymore. A lot of us still have our phones out, or the kids are playing on the tablet. No one's talking to each other. Research shows that one of the most negative consequences of screen time is that there's just reduced opportunity for social interactions. And all of those social interactions play into their development. So, number one recommendation at meal times is to put those phones in a box, put them way out of sight, so it's just y'all there ready to talk and learn. Also, the benefit of doing this is your child's not distracted. And that means that they're learning from you, they're watching how you eat, they're listening to their hunger and fullness cues. If they were looking at YouTube, maybe they wouldn't have been able to recognize when they were full. Maybe they would have overeaten and complained about how their belly hurt. That could possibly become a trend, and that trend could lead into adolescence or even adulthood where they're overeating and then they end up in a bigger body. So it's really important to make sure that dinner time is family. Screen time is a really challenging subject, I understand. But in order for your child to improve with school, to have better sleep cycles, to make more social interactions, and be willing to learn and grow like little children should, I recommend reducing your weekly screen time by 15 to 30 minutes per week and see just what your family is capable of.